All the agencies are working for their own country. Ultimately, they can kill to save the country.
They are, torn mentally, physically, emotionally in terms of serving their nation.
Theatre actually taught me how to be self-critical and introspect while performing.
आज हम कई बार यही नहीं सोचते कि यार सड़क पे एक्सीडेंट हुआ है तो रुक के ज़रा 2 मिनट देख लें कि क्या कुछ इन्वॉल्वमेंट कर हो सकता है नहीं हो सकता.
Hello, I'm Alka Sahni from Indian Express, and I'm very thrilled to talk to you, such good actors in one show. So tell us, when you are part of such an exciting ensemble cast, which is the case with lot of good shows these days, what draws you? What is the thrill for you?
I think the good actors and the good script and the good makers.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we managed to get all of them together under one roof in this show.
That was a big plus for all of us to say yes, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
And a different way to look at spies' life and spies per se. Because all this while, since our growing up years, I think I know the first spy in my life was James Bond. Gadgets and swag and charm and the dapper looks, those crisp suits.
Martini.
Moving all over the world, most scenic places, there are chase sequences happening, all those things that we've seen. Whereas the real spy works differently, absolutely differently. And they can't afford to have any kind of attention. Nobody knows what the real spy looks like. And that's so that actually tells us that they look like one of us. They can easily blend themselves in the crowd. So that's a very extremely unique point of the script and the way the writer-director envisaged. So that got all of us to say yes.
I'm adding to Pratik's point. I feel I don't know how many of the people would actually know how they live. So first of all, I want to give credit to the writers, Gaurav and the entire team, the way they have envisaged the kind of plot they have written, and along with the nitty-gritties and dilemmas of their personal life in between. They are torn between their personal lives and serving the nation. And the script, the way they have written, it's so beautiful, and the vision was so amazing that it was an offer not to refuse kind of a thing. And it is very, very special because they've dealt with, the emotional angle that how they have to deal in their lives on day-to-day basis. How much information they can share, how much information they cannot share. Actually, how can they hide the information from others and keeping the information so intact, so secret that they want to keep themselves also very, away from it, and at the same time act bravely for their country, because their one decision can make or break lives of crores of people. So that was very, very intriguing.
You want to add anything?
I said,
Yeah.
that's what I said. I think.
But taking off from what Pratik said, I think while Pratik's character Vishnu Shankar is little more like a common man and prefers to the limelight not to be on him, your character Murtaza, I think, has the swag. Any comments on that?
I guess that's the basic difference between how these agencies of different countries work.
Yeah.
Their idea and their ideologies of working. As far as that we know and whatever that we've read, raw, the way Indian intelligence agencies work with a lot of restraint. That's a different responsibility that you work with. Any which ways, all the agencies are working for their own country. Ultimately, they can kill to save the country. But at what extent and when do they take this extreme decision is on their ideology. So that's the stark difference between the ideologies of these two individuals.
That can be seen in the costumes also.
Yeah.
The kind of clothes we wear.
Frankly speaking, we underwent a lot of research. There was a lot of research done by the writing team. So I read through, Googled through, saw interviews, whatever possible, because you can't find real raw and these kinds of agents on interviews. But the functioning and the recruitment of ISI is completely different than how raw is recruiting the people. They have their army people who have served the nation, and amongst them they find out, and they already a person who is trained to a particular level, only then he is capable to join ISI. So the character had to be that way because the process and functioning of ISI is completely different than RAW. And they are, the organization also, what we did the research was 20 years older than RAW. So they were, recruited that in that manner, and they operate in a particular way. So whatever I could gather from the script and learn from the research, we try to portray that.
But how much did you depend on the research, and how much was it your journey to finding the character?
I think for me there was a lot in the script only. For my character, for Naushad, I think it was there because there are no multiple dilemmas for him. It's a simple dilemma that he is going through something and why he's doing this. That's more important for him. So I got most of it from the script only. It's just that to add how I'm looking, there was a person who was making you wear the certain kind of costumes, and I preferred, that's what I spoke to my director, that I would like to keep beard. And coincidentally, I had the beard. ये अलग बात है कि उसकी continuity बहुत लंबी चली गई और मैं काफी time तक beard नहीं clean shave नहीं हो पाया. But I think then you start adding little bit characteristics, outer characteristics in that. But otherwise, I think the emotion was there in my role.
I think it was very, very important for me to have the right kind of research, because the way they have fictionalized it is so real. I mean, I was completely convinced, and I believed these people would live like this only, and they would definitely have this kind of life. So one thing that was written on paper, there were dilemmas, there were situations, there were targets, there were threats, there were many things on paper, but definitely what was not written in paper was what is their mindset, the kind of mental strength, how they have to behave, what all kind of emotions they go through, what all kind of situations they are put through. So that was very, very challenging, and there was a very thin line, because you have so much information and you are there to collect so much information. You have to be active by all your senses. They don't need to operate at one level. All your senses need to be, tenfolds active to gather information and then understand the situation and act accordingly. And the kind of, the pressures, the stakes these people have while taking decisions, they are, torn mentally, physically, emotionally, in terms of serving their nation versus their personal family versus their personal life. These people are very, very different because they cannot act like a normal person. They need to think beyond themselves, beyond their families, beyond everything. It is the nation that comes first for them, and how to manage that and what kind of psychological toll it takes in your head. That was something which had to be created.
Pratik, you have already played like Harshad Mehta, which is again a real life person. Like we did not see, not everybody saw them, but again, it's a character based on real life. And then this is a character which fictional, but there is some amount of truth to this character, I would believe. Then Gandhi, like what is your approach while doing and essaying these characters?
So whenever I'm playing any real life character, of course their life is known to people, their ups and downs and high points, major incidences, everything is known to people. But what was going in their brain and in their heart when they were taking certain historical decisions is not known to anybody. That is open for interpretation, and that's the area that I target whenever I perform any real life character. As far as Vishnu's character is concerned, it's a fictional character, but we can easily assume that it may be the amalgamation of lot of real life characters. And Vishnu's character was very well written in the script. We see the whole series from his point of view. So he becomes the central protagonist. As an Indian audience, we would want to root for him. At the same time, the script is so very well written that even for the opponent, beyond a point, if you don't see the country, if you don't see the badge, you feel human emotions. So you equally feel bad for them. Vishnu's journey is little complex in my mind because he is a guilt-ridden person. He is moving around with this guilt that because of his delay in convincing the superiors and getting the information, we lost Dr. Baba. That's his biggest guilt. Another guilt that he has is that he's not able to cross that moral line. I think probably he always wanted to become like Murtaza, be that fearless and go to any extent to save the country. But he's not able to cross that moral line. Another guilt that he has is that he's constantly lying or maybe not being 100% true to his wife. And all these guilt along with the kind of job profile that he's in. So that makes it even more layered. And because it's a fictional character, I get little free hand to, create and understand the character.
How different is it from playing Harshad Mehta in Scam?
It's very different because Harshad Mehta in Scam, I guess a lot of people knew about him. There are real life photos available. There are, a lot of anecdotes available. People who have worked with him closely. I met a couple of them who said that, okay, that was his style, He had a different charm. He would convince you about anything and any theory. That was his flamboyance. Whereas here in this character, I did not have any reference point, which is a big plus for an actor. It becomes little easier because I can go all out and create a character from the written material. So yeah, it's a different route that I had to take.
So I was just checking Wikipedia and then it came up that you made your television debut with Shanti in 1994. I used to watch Shanti, but I don't have memories of it now. So almost 30 years. And you have seen like Shanti revolutionized Indian television in a way much before Ekta Kapoor did. So how do you sum up your journey? Like almost 3 decades now.
I think those were the days when as an actor you just want to act.
Yeah.
You don't know anything about whether it's a आज जो हम technically we spoke like these are weeklies and short format and long formats and micro dramas and these terminologies were not there. For me and for people like me in those days, it was like act करना है यार, acting करवा लो, हमें acting आती है बस और कुछ नहीं पता. And I remember, with Shanti, I have a very, very funny incident. Because when I landed in this city, that was one show which was being made and talk about कि अरे daily soap बन रहा है. The first daily soap in those days.
On DD.
Yes, it was on
on
DD,
DD.
Shanti. And उसकी casting चल रही है. And Adi Pocha, one of the topmost guys from the advertising world is making it. तो सारे जितने actors उस era में land हुए थे ना इस city में वो सारे शांति में पहुंचे हुए थे. Especially the guys who passed out from National School of Drama around those 2-3 years. I went there, show शुरू हो गया, मेरी casting नहीं हुई और मेरे कुछ दोस्तों की casting हो गई. And I was like, कैसे miss हो गया? And those were the days going with the physical photos to the offices. Yeah. And I went there, I said, यार मैं एक काम करता हूँ, मैं दोबारा जाता हूँ. So I went like as if like I have come for the first time. I've never met you. So this time, look at an actor's mind. कि I said, यार photos तो मैं देख चुका हूँ. तो मैंने क्या किया? Same photos का black and white print out निकलवाया. I said, शायद ऐसा कुछ होगा. But the moment I met the guy and I showed him my picture, he said, अरे आप तो आ चुके हैं ना पहले, आप तो आए थे, आपके फोटो है हमारे पास. नहीं यार अभी तो कोई रोल नहीं. But I think when Shanti was almost 100 episodes done, I got a role in that. I got a role in 1995.
Okay.
It started in 94. Finally in 1995 I got the role. But very interesting. I was paired opposite Mandira Bedi and I was a journalist. But ये अलग बात है because she was the heroine तो उनके multiple heroes थे. हर hero को 6-6 महीने मिले थे. तो मैं 6 महीने के लिए उनका hero था.
How nice. But talking about the OTT, like all of you, I think one common thing is maybe little less for Sunny, but all of you have done theatre. So what is the thrill of theatre? What is again screen experience? I thought that was one common factor among 3 of you.
Yeah, theatre, it's my first love.
Yeah.
I feel alive on stage. the audience is right there. Scope of error is zero.
Yeah.
There is no margin of error there, and you constantly, calibrate yourself while performing. And that's a very interesting part, that theater actually taught me how to be self-critical and introspect while performing. So whenever I am performing on stage now, and that's the same thing that it has become a second nature that I do even in front of the camera. That whenever I perform, I have two, individual personalities inside me. One is me myself as Pratik, who is aware about the external world and constantly feeding into the character. And one is the character whose job is to just create emotions and convey the story. Now, this existence of these dual personality at that very moment, theater is the only medium which can give you that experience. And every time we perform the same character time and again, even after 500 shows, you come up with something new.
Absolutely agree.
A newer nuance, a newer pauses, a newer line. And sometimes even audiences, with their reaction, they teach you. I never knew that this line would mean something like this. But the audience reacted in a way where I understood a different meaning of the line. So it actually keeps you aware about one fact, that the success or the excellence is not that one point. It's a constant journey.
Absolutely. Same, what he said. In fact, I recently, 3rd of August, I had a show in Indore.
Oh.
Of my play.
Oh, which play?
There's a new play called, I'm doing 2 productions. One is a thriller, it's called Baliganj 1990, and there's another one which is called My Wife's Eighth Virgin, which is a contemporary drama. It's in a lighter note, in a comic note, but it talks about today's couples, how much we spend time on social media, but in real, hardly we interact with each other. So everything is being talked about in that context, but in a little funny way. What he said is absolutely right. I performed my show, Baliganj, and 8th show I said, Aaj ka show best tha. And when I performed my 40th show, I said, Aaj wala show best tha. 40 mein se sabse अच्छा आज हुआ. So, that's the way. And what he said is absolutely right, that you learn that it's constant, boss. You have to keep learning. There is no end to it. That's the beauty of theatre.
But when you are working in a bigger setup, like a series, are you also interacting and feeding off on each other's strengths? Do you get that time or no? Like the way OTT shows are.
No. It gives you, in fact, a longer format gives you enough time to do that.
Yeah.
And if you are ready, if you are a little fearless, and if you are for the script, you end up doing that only. Because that's how you can create that, moment of truth for the audience. We just have to be present and react to each other. The moment you stop acting, you can actually create characters that can breathe and, create the story alive in front of the audiences.
And also it is learning silently also.
Yeah.
I feel, like as an actor, either you are in the scene, but there are times when you are learning from the other actor also when he's performing, looking at him. And so you have to keep your antennas on all the time if you are passionate.
Just be
about
in that
your
moment.
job. Yeah.
That's it. That's the best thing.
Yeah.
Any historical character that you would like to play, like just a wish list kind of thing? He has already done enough. But still, or maybe an historical event for Pratik, because he cannot top Gandhi now.
Ultimate.
But still, in that case, I mean, one historical character that I am very fascinated about is Sardar Patel. His life journey and all those small anecdotes that I've read, the way he used to deal with different Maharajas, and there are a couple of interesting stories that I've read. It's very interesting. I'm very fascinated, extremely fascinated by that character.
I think, I don't know historical, but definitely because we were talking about spies and we were also thinking how we approached into this character, and I had this opportunity of doing a docudrama on Ravindra Kaushik. So I have read and known about the life of Ravindra Kaushik and how he has been a patriot of our country and a spy who stayed in Pakistan for the longest time. So I think if given an opportunity, I would like to do a biopic on Ravindra Kaushik.
Yeah. I don't think many people know that story also.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's the important aspect of it. He was a real spy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think मैंने सोचा नहीं, to be very
Okay,
honest, मैंने
okay.
सोचा नहीं, but if I have to just choose one person, then I definitely feel Bhagat Singh is the hero, you know. At such a young age, how your mind works. I'm in fact reading another latest, recently I've started reading a book. I think it's Why I'm Atheist. Why I'm an Atheist.
Yeah.
I've just started reading that. So I think what Pratik said is so important, to get into that mind. You know, when you take certain decisions, when you decide that I want to do this. So I think that will be more intriguing and interesting for an actor to get into the skin of that character. कि क्या दिमाग में चलता होगा यार. आज हम सोच सकते हैं. आज हम कई बार यही नहीं सोचते कि यार सड़क पे एक्सीडेंट हुआ है तो रुक के ज़रा 2 मिनट देख लें कि क्या कुछ इन्वॉल्वमेंट हो सकता है, नहीं हो सकता है. और यहाँ तो अपनी जान देने की बात हो रही थी.
Thank you so much. Looking forward to watching rest of the episodes.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
All the best.
Thank you.